Okay, so let's begin. You can take a comfortable seat, please, and rest your hands in your lap. We're coming to this practice from the place we were in sleep for some of you. I've been up for a couple hours, as you know. But I'm going to ask you to emerge into your practice without sort of letting other things flood in from the to-do list or the news cycle or distractions that might surround you. So try to sense yourself emerging from sleep to here without the habitual distractions being tempting. Align your posture and bring in your breath now. So the more subtle form of Ujjayi, since you're not in a physically demanding practice at the moment. And listen for the sound of that Ujjayi breath with your inner ear. Take notice of the places where your body is easily receiving and responding to the inhale, and where your body easily participates with the exhale. Also notice where that feels difficult. Please bring your palms together at your heart. And we'll chant Sahana Vavatu. Let's begin. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Savidyam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavai. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Savidyam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavai. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Savidyam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands. And then while sitting upright, I just want to check if there's a note for me I need to look at. Okay, got it. So while you're sitting upright, we're going to do some pranayama. And I want you to ask yourself how stable your torso feels in supporting the pranayama without gripping. And the question we're asking is how the pelvic floor and the intrinsic muscles that keep you stable are supporting the larger movement of the pranayama. So this pranayama is going to include arm movements and a rapid exhale side to side. And just ask the question, like, how stable do you feel in the inner body? That's all we need for right now. So place your hands out over your knees. Lengthen up through your spine. Do not sit in a rigid way, and don't try to disguise that you're more stable than your inner body actually is. Listen for the honest information. And we'll do Bastrika first. This is a strong exhale out the mouth. Let's begin. Now breathing in. Come up to your inhale suspension. When you're ready to, you breathe out, release the breath completely, and then sit quietly. Keeping your hands out over your knees, you can put a little pressure of your fingers against your knees to stabilize the inner body, and also to give you this little bit of resistance that when you inhale, in a moment you're going to be going up like cow pose, and when you exhale you're going to be going down using Uddiyana Bandha, but not going to a full cat pose with the whole spine. Let's start by gazing down and come into your Ujjayi breath. And please inhale, lower, middle, upper, and you're going to be raising your head and your heart and lifting the chin also. And then exhale, Ujjayi, as you bring your gaze down, but lengthen the spine up. The exhale going from the base, inwardly, upwardly, along the front of the spine. And inhale again. Three times more, please. With each complete inhale and exhale, there is a gentle pause that I would like you to also be respecting. When you complete the 5th cycle, which would be the 3rd one from when I said 3 times more, when you complete that, then sit quietly, please. And notice the influence, the echo of the influence. And place your hands on your shoulders, elbows wide. This is a strong exhale out through the nose, going side to side. Let's begin. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to center. And then inhale, lower, middle, and upper to suspend the inhale at the top. And then you exhale out through the nose, a long, steady exhale at the timing that is yours. At the end of the exhale, again, deeply relax. And please interlace your fingers. Take the heels of the hands down in front of you. And using your Ujjayi, you're going to inhale and raise the arms corresponding with what the breath is doing. So how your breath is rising, the arms are going to match that pace so that when you get to the top and you're looking up, you're at the top of the inhale. And then exhale, hands down behind your head so your pinkies are at the base of your skull, palms still facing down. There's your Jalandhar Bandha. Lift the base of your skull back into your pinky fingers. Then inhale Ujjayi, and the elbows go forward and up. And exhale, gazing down, again Jalandhar Bandha. Bring your head to level. Inhale, slide your left elbow forward, twist to your right. Exhale to center. Inhale, right elbow forward, twist left. Exhale to center. Inhale, press up and look up. Exhale, arms wide. And this morning we're going to add at the bottom of the exhale, interlace your fingers, roll the shoulders back. Inhale to go up. And exhale, hands clasped. Bring your head down. Exhale to bow forward any amount that your hips allow you to do at this moment. And then rise up to sitting. We're going to repeat that. Okay, so at your timing, inhale, Ujjayi. Exhale, Ujjayi. Respect the length and timing of your breath so you're not trying to compare it to mine. You'll be inhaling to go up. Remember, we're going to clasp the hands at the lower back. Inhale to rise up. And exhale to bow forward. And then roll up to sitting. When you come to sit, return just to the infrastructure of sitting. So just enough activation at the pelvic floor, the inner belly, your spine, but also a connection to the subtle body. And now Kapalabhati, and this is another activity that I'll ask you to really notice the stability, so you're not jolting the body with the exhales. And just see what is your actual experience, but the recommendation is that you're not jolting. So a little bit of an inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale up to suspension. Bring the right hand up and exhale left nostril only. Inhale left. Suspend. Close the left, exhale right, Of course, modifying the timing to be your own. And inhale right. Close the right. Exhale left. And then deeply relax. Okay, we're going to transition. Thank you, everyone. So that's something for you to have as a little body memory. We're going to come back to pranayama at the end of class. Right now, I'd like us to transition to the floor. And if you have a foam roller, that's going to be ideal. If you don't have a foam roller, you're going to be using 2 folded blankets like we did the other day. So let me get this. So the foam roller, the density of the foam roller matters. So mine is the black kind, as you can see. If you're going to fold 2 blankets instead of that, you need to fold them so that they have that narrow fold that I'm fond of. So you go like this, and you would stack 2 blankets on top of each other in that position. I know we don't all have a foam roller, but it is ideal if you do have one. And for this first activity, if you don't have a foam roller, but you have, you can also use like a volleyball or a soccer ball for the upper back, or those 2 blankets. So this is going to roll if you have the foam roller. It won't roll if you just have the 2 blankets. So those of you who are using the foam roller, I'm going to ask you to roll the upper back. So please keep your elbows in towards each other so that your shoulder blades are wider, and you treat the foam roller like a large rolling pin, and you get to roll on the places that feel tender to you. And I'm going to ask you not to roll further down than your floating ribs. So really focusing on the upper back. If what you have, please continue. If what you have are the 2 blankets, and you don't have a volleyball, a soccer ball, etc., because the blankets won't roll, what I'm going to recommend you do is you go backwards over your 2 blankets, raise up, and keeping your upper back firm on the blankets. Let the skin and the myofascial upper back stay on the blankets firmly, and yet you have to pull with the heels to bring your torso down and press with the heels to take the torso over. So your back in this case is fixed to the blankets, but you are able to affect some movement of the tissues and the fluid in the tissues. But still, everyone is keeping the elbows in for now so that the shoulder blades are more broad. Roll a couple times more, or move over your blanket a couple times more. And then start to find a place where you feel like you're relatively centered on the blanket, on the blankets or the roller where your upper back is. And lower your hips down. And then thoughtfully begin to lean your head back over the roller while still holding your head. Open the elbows wide. Support the base of your skull and open your throat, whatever amount is comfortable for your neck. If you're on the roller, that's a bit of a bigger back bend, so don't look at me on two blankets and compare that flexibility to you on a roller. And then please roll yourself up to sitting. And you can watch here. I'm going to show you with the roller, and it's equivalent with the blankets now. So you'll be lying on one side, and let's go on the right side first, please. So I've put my shoulder blade joyfully on this roller. The knees are bent, so they're close to your torso, and I would like you to hold your head. And what I'm rolling first is going to be that you're rolling the shoulder blade on the side. So again, if you had a volleyball or a soccer ball, you probably could use that. And this rolling on the roller, the blankets won't move. And I'll show you how to be on the blankets in a moment. So that's our first assignment. The second, please watch for a moment, is that we're going to be rolling down. And then while keeping the knees stacked, we're going to be rolling backwards. Similar to how you held your head in the pranayama and you stretched one elbow to support the twist. When I roll forward, I'm going to bring my right elbow forward to help. Oh, sorry, that's my left elbow because I'm on my right shoulder blade. So when I roll back on my right shoulder blade, I'm going to stretch my right elbow to help rotate my head to the left. And then I'm going to use the elbows again to help come back in this direction. Okay, so let's first start with just rolling. You have to have this little bit of mobility. You're like an inchworm on the side. And let me show for the blankets. Okay, so those of you on the roller or the soccer ball, you can continue. And I know it's painful. I've done these activities. I'm not in denial and I'm not medicated. So if you're on the shoulder blade here on the blankets, I want you to press down with your curve and then press down with the base of the shoulder blade there against the blanket. So this is going to require more abdominal strength here when you're coming up, but you are still able to massage to some extent. I will recommend that you purchase a foam roller. It's a good household item to have. Okay, let's go to the twisting one, everyone. So please keep your knees together. You're not rotating the pelvis in this case. We're really trying to affect the mid to upper thoracic spine. If you're on the right shoulder blade, when you roll forward and down, the left elbow is going to pass the right elbow. And when you're rolling the other way, I'd like you to lengthen your right elbow, stretch it towards the far end of your blankets or your roller, and use that to help you rotate your head. Lengthen your left elbow overhead. And then you're going to rotate again down. A couple times more. So lengthen the right elbow, stretch your left elbow past your left ear. And continue. Okay, a couple times more. And then when you complete the next one and you're rolling forward, please put a block under your head and stretch your bottom arm, that would be your right arm, out to the side, and raise your left arm past your left ear. And for those of you who have the flexibility, this block can be on the flat setting. If you're on a roller, that might be too low because the roller is very firm. Stretch the left arm actively. Bring your left knee up to your chest. Lengthen the back hemisphere and the left side of your waist, please. And then lengthen your left leg out, straight out from your hip. And continue to lengthen the back hemisphere of your body. And roll your left knee back up to match your right. Raise your left arm up to the ceiling and twist to your left. And if you're on the roller, remind yourself that it is more dense and it is thicker. You probably need your head to be supported by that block medium height, possibly 2 blocks when you start the twist. You might need to have 2 blocks under your head. Press the back of your right hand down against the floor to support your twist to your left. Please keep the knees, thighs, and hips stacked and stable. And then roll leg up. Release. And let's change sides. Okay, so you can just turn yourself over. I'll move my yoga props, but you can just turn yourself over. Okay, so you're going to first roll on your shoulder blades. So you're going like that sideways inchworm. If you have the 2 blankets, you're doing that firm pressure of the shoulder blade. It's more fun, I would say, with the roller. Also very provocative for the shoulder blade, but it requires more abdominal and trunk tone and control when you're on the 2 blankets. So there's different benefits. Okay, when you get that rolled out, it's a little bit like pie dough. You might have a couple spots that need a little bit of attention. Once you have a sense of where you are, then keep the knees stacked again and roll down. So the right elbow is going to come forward. And then rotate. Yes, you are going over some tender spots. And as you rotate, lengthen your left elbow and reach your right elbow past your right ear. So you're supporting the twist of your upper thoracic and cervical spines there. It's helpful to smile at your efforts and your sensations and remind yourself that you're practicing with dozens of other people and you're not the only one having strong sensations. I'm certain of that. from decades of teaching in person with people and hearing the actual moaning. Sometimes my own. Okay, so now we're going to take a block to go under the head. And again, if you're on a roller, you probably need the block to be up on the medium setting. You might even need 2 blocks to be here. It's really based on your body proportions and the thickness of the roller. Sweep your right arm overhead, please. And bring your right knee up towards your chest. Lengthen the back of your right side. For those of you, sometimes you might have like a tight quadratus lumborum or latissimus dorsi. This is one way to reach into that. And then lengthen your right leg while keeping a sense of how important the back body is. I have to see what just happened on my computer, sorry. No, I don't need a notification right now. No, I'm in class, believe me. Okay. Now, bring your right knee back up. And for those of you who are on a roller, I said before it might be helpful to have 2 blocks for the head for this twist. And that's a consideration. You get to make your own considerations, of course. But we're going to take the left arm and reach it out towards the same line as the roller. And then raise your right arm up. And as you're twisting back, please keep your knees stacked and your pelvis stable. Press the back of your left wrist down against the floor so that you are giving a little support to the twist from the left arm. And breathe in. And then raise your right arm. Come back and over. Okay. And rise up to sitting. All right, so now I'm going to show you one of my, I was going to use this tennis ball, but we're going to do that a different time. I want to show you one of my favorite ways to use the roller to warm up the upper back, but also to address the quadriceps. And this is to get some heat in the upper back as well. And you might not like it that much. And you can have your own response to anything, of course. So the 2 blocks like this, and the thighs are going to start on the roller, and you have this distance to travel basically on the roller. I have hair in my mouth. I don't want you to roll on your kneecaps, and you don't have to go bumping over the hip joints, though sometimes I do roll quads, hips, and then I let the belly rest on the roller. So basically this exercise looks like this. This is seal pose, and then rolling back, and then rolling forward. So I have my thighs on the roller, rolling back. You have less back bend. When you come forward, you press the palms down and pull yourself forward, which is strengthening for the shoulder girdle. Maybe it's a little bit hard work. And also, by the way, if your foam roller, the white ones and the blue ones do end up eventually not rolling very much if they get quite used, because they get kind of squishy in the middle. Okay, one more time. There's your seal pose. Okay, and then touch the knees down to the floor, reach back, and magically there's your roller for your head for child's pose. I'm going to go as a profile view for you now, so I'll scoot these. Okay, so walk your hands back towards your knees. Place the roller sideways so that I can show you my profile. You can keep yours as you have it. And then we start with the elbows on the center of the blocks. And the reason the elbows are on the center of the blocks is that when you roll, right now I'm going to just roll the quad so you can see that. But there's a time where you get to roll further backwards. And in that rolling backwards, so right there, I'm going to go over the top of my thighs, then the pubic bone. And then you see how the arms come up to like a prayer position. And I have my hips supported by the roller, but I'm not collapsing the lumbar spine here. So that is opening the upper back and shoulder girdle. So you start with the elbow on the middle of the block. Otherwise, the block's kind of tippy when you go back. So place it at the middle right there. Okay, so we're going to do the quadriceps first. So all you have there is this oh so gentle experience. The quadriceps are smiling. And the shoulders they're not yet going to be overhead here, so they should not feel the same responsibility coming up. When you roll forward, you do want to sense that you're toning the low belly there, and the arms should be an aid to that process. Now, when you want to roll back, you can start gliding back. So you go to the top of the thighs, the pubic bone, then you have your ilium bones, the top of your hip bones on the roller. Drop your knees to the floor. Your pelvis is going to go into flexion. Keep the lumbar spine broad, and you can bring the arms up to this kind of praying position here. And for those of you who don't have a roller for this activity, I'm sorry that I can't really adapt it with the blankets. So if everybody can come forward, touch the knees down, place your hands, and come backwards to child's pose. And walk your hands back towards your knees. And please lie down like this for 4 minutes of Shavasana before we have Pranayama and meditation. So the roller is there for your knees, and the blocks are there for your feet. So when you come down, this is a brief Shavasana in preparation for Pranayama. So please come to rest. Notice the energy that is moving through you. As if you're watching a bubbling stream, just rippling along. And you know that you were not the source of the stream, and you're also not its destination. But you can see it, sense it. Having given yourself to the Shavasana, just one more minute there. Notice how your body, from all your prior Shavasanas, it does kind of know what to do. It's a little bit like when we're doing dog training. Eventually, the synchronizing between the trainer and the dog, there's a mutuality. So we want the animal body to know what to do in Shavasana. And then leaving the animal body in a restful place. Awaken your awareness body and please return to your seat. So what I'd like you to explore here in this pranayama is to what extent your inhale makes it to the upper third of the torso with more ease. And if inhale suspension feels more easeful. And if your exhale suspension, you might feel that actually moving up the front line of the body more intimately. So place your hands out over your knees, please. And let's see if we are more stable in Kapalabhati. And we'll be sensing that just for one short round of Kapalabhati. So begin with a slight inhale. Exhale. Inhale up to suspension. Close the right, exhale left. Inhale left, lower, middle, and upper. In your timing, exhale right. And inhale right. Finish with exhale left. And deeply relax. Now we'll practice exhale suspension with Uddiyana Bandha. For those who have your menstrual cycle, it's contraindicated. So we'll inhale Ujjayi, a brief pause. Then you exhale Ujjayi, going from the lower, upper. And then you're going to hold the exhale out, having squeezed all the belly muscles. Without inhaling, you radically relax the belly and then make a pretend inhalation without any air coming in. And I'd like you to see if you can sense that is a movement myofascially and internally that goes actually all the way up into the upper chest and into the throat. So let's do the first one together. Inhale Ujjayi. Exhale Ujjayi from the base, moving upwards. You're squeezing the breath out and out and out. And at the bottom of the exhale squeeze, you're going to hold the breath out, radically relax the belly, and make a pretend inhalation. Make that pretend inhale all the way up to the heart. And then release this bandha without gasping. And then inhale. And relax before you try it again. but be deeply respectful. You can try that one more time, not pushing on any part of the process, but being receptive as a learner. When you complete, then simply rest. Come to the still point of the mind. Remind yourself to keep the infrastructure of your posture to support meditation. And keep your mind at rest in the still point that pranayama kind of delivers you to, reminds you of. Allow yourself to stay in that quiet stream. It is the gem of your practice. If you need to, you can refresh the inner structure of your seat. Make it very subtle, please. Please join your hands at your heart. We'll chant Asatoma to close our practice today. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. So I will come up to see you more closely. Thank you, Mira. I can see that. Okay. How are you feeling? Some quiet, I hope, in your meditation. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah. Yeah. Even though the ouch, yes.